as we do see the two teams here being Voyage and Altruist, by the way, the two team names that we got coming up.
Okay. I will be fully transparent. I am not familiar with a lot of these lower level teams. So, do you have any insights for me or for the audience here?
The only insight I can give you is the fact that both teams are two 0-1 teams. They have lost their first matchup of the day. It's kind of similar to what we saw with Rainfall earlier. Being on the losing end. Now they're just having to claw their way out of it. In terms of the team itself, we got Voyage, which according to their Sendu bios, actually both teams Sendu bios, we got two European teams, believe it or not. For
Ooh.
this group, so that'll be fun. Ultras, by the way, participating in a collection of at least, to what I see, 5 low this past month. This not past month. 5 this past month. You can tell where I'm going with this. The past year, they're looking to see if they can break through their best result being around the 20th range. So they're looking to see if they can break through with that one. Voyage, the other team here, playing around a handful of tournaments. Last known low ink result was back in August 2025. They're just trying to see how far they can go as a team. So we got two relatively newish teams out of low level there in terms of results, and just trying to see if they can break through and make it to alpha, or better results for them, and possibly still make it a beta run.
Listen, even if you lose your first set, like we were talking about earlier,
Mhm.
how Rainfall had a get right game. This is these teams get right set. If I could put it, listen. The best way I
I
could put
got
it,
you.
as a sports fan, the Eagles last year started off what, like 0-4. They won the Super Bowl. So even if you lose, a couple games at first, you can always bounce back because everyone knows it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. And these teams are looking to at least finish this off with a win.
You know what? That's a very good way to put it. Actually, they're the get right game now onto the get right set here, and actually just trying to be on the board for their first set dub of the day. And exactly to your point, it's also really early too in the lowing Swiss stages as well. You're dealing with multiple rounds of Swiss here, to say the least. Six play all threes. Losing the first set isn't gonna hurt you too much, but you don't want to be down to what I call the 2 losses or 3 losses that we will see throughout lowing here, because usually when you're hitting 2 or 3, then you're thinking, okay, this might make the difference in brackets. So that is how things are going to be. That's how things are going to be paying off. And for both these teams, again, still trying to see if they can get a really strong run of lowing, even if they don't make alpha. Trying to see if they can get a very strong result for them. Gonna be the big thing to talk about here. But this map going to be coming up here. Topic from what we see is the ultimate test of team coordination and seeing how strong you are in your objectives. It's Clan Blitz. It's also
hmm
Umami Ruins Clan Blitz as well. Pretty deceptively small map in terms of the Clan Blitz mode itself with this particular map.
Yeah, and every time I see Clam Blitz Umami, I think of one special in particular. I
Yeah.
think of Crab because every time, I don't know if it's just you, but every time I play against a Crab on this map, it feels like they always go on top mid. That
Yep.
mid section, very strong spot because you can reach the dome or silo or whatever the round place. You know what I'm talking about. You reach that relatively easily. You can get under basket. You can get behind the block to, because I have a lot of like short range weapons, like a lot of like melee weapons like carbon, like rollers, like blasters, like swords, like to sit behind there. You can get that, and that just gives your team a very very easy way in. So I think I'm not going to predict what these teams won, but I would not be surprised if they ran a crab here because it is very very strong for this map.
I mean, to your point, if one of these teams were to run a crab tank, it should come as no shockers here for either of them. I think exactly to your point. It's actually a really spectacular special for for this particular map, let alone the mode that it is in, which is Clan Blitz. Again, the deceptively small map in terms of the distance to the barrier there. So for both these teams, just getting a really strong push, maybe off of these few specials, is gonna matter the most. So We're still waiting for a few folks to hop right in, but this does give me the chance. I say chance here, topic to see how both teams were faring. So I've noted with both the teams here so far in terms of results. So again for Voyage, trying to see if they can break past, trying to see if they can get a really strong result for them. Again, they all have participated in a handful of tournaments since the August 2025 edition of Lowing. Now they're just trying to see how that translates to this particular month. Altruist, as well, they did 3 consecutive Lowings, June, July, and August, and the same deal. They just taken a break during the fall season in terms of their results, but now they're getting some really solid, somewhat decent results. So I think for both these teams, I imagine the goal is let's just see if we can get a win against each other and see if we can get a really strong placement at this point.
Yeah, because like you said, I've been looking through their the results as well. You know, the little cursory glance, nothing too deep. And yeah, I think both these teams are looking to break through because I believe, if I recall correctly, Alpha bracket is top 16, correct?
Yeah, believe so. Yep.
Yeah. So if you can get top 16, even if you like kind of wash out at that point, that's a really good placement for anybody's sake. So I think both these teams, like I said earlier, looking for this get right set and looking to kind of carry that momentum further on. Because listen, I think we both know all it only takes one. It takes
Yep.
one good game or one good kill into one good game into one good set into a really good rest of tournaments. So both these teams, like we talked about earlier, they are both 0-1, but that is not an indication that they are down and out. It just means, hey, we gotta work a little bit harder, and both these teams have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder.
You know, and that's a very good way to put it too. Especially so another interesting thing with this loan, because I'm also trying to pick up the fact that it's one group before we hop in this one. Since we have the one group, top 16 itself, if I do the math, will make it the alpha, and then it will be 17 to 32 will make it the beta. There's no gamma for this particular month, from what I'm noticing here. So again, alpha and beta are the only active brackets. You want to finish into top 32 if you want to continue on to day 2. We are queuing into this particular matchup, which I believe Voyage is going to be on the Bravo side. Alpha side is going to be Altruist. As you take a look at the weapons here, an S-Blast 91 in Lowing, always love to see that as well. I want to see if that E-Leader gets a lot of value on this particular map. That is your longest range weapon on the board. This is already happening pretty fast here, as that's a full wipeout. What this should lead to here, maybe the first push of the game here, is Badui trying to swim up there. One clam short. Now they're tossing it in. There's the first push of the game so far here, Topic. But so far, where is the follow-up? 2 members have gone down. Rem does get the snipe on the Jew there, but is there going to be anything else? The answer is going to be no. Topic, as fast as this game started, well, it's just a one-and-done push to start things off.
I mean, yeah, that's never what you want to see if you're the first team attacking, because now you see that Ultras, they have a free power clan basically, and they can get a bigger push, but that hammer is able to shut one member down. Looney going in, getting one, getting two. The panic, I will say, Jet coming out, looking for at least something, able to get this there. Very, very nice, but that leaves the basket open. No, it does not. Closing the gate is going to be, I believe, the end zap there for this side of Ultra, so able to shut that push down and get them back into mid. You see already popping a cooler, trying to just push their advantage as much as possible, but this gives them to be very, very hard for them because they got to clear out the silo area, which they do with that Booyah Bomb. They got to get past both this mini and the shot, which they managed to do, get 2 of them down as well, but the follow-up is going to be there this time. Oh no, it looks like the follow-up for Altruist is going to be there, able to get to 74, which, yes, it is more than 80, but then again, these smaller pushes, they're just giving the opposing team free power clamps to work with, basically.
Oh, exactly correct there. You ideally want to get to a push that is probably right around the 60-point mark, or maybe even more, that to avoid the free clamp from making a big difference later on in the matchup. Because yeah, you get to see if Voyage were to capitalize on that, it would be the immediate lead change. So pay close attention to it. They're actually going to pick up the free clamp back at base already, and one of the power clamps is going to be gone. So it's just going to be the one power clamp on both sides here that basically is being dished out, and now we're basically into a fight around across the middle here. The Inkjet almost getting one, but not able to get the value here. But there is going to be the follow-up there. That is going to be Disc going down to Ju there on top of it. It is just two members that have dropped there. Altruist looking to see if they can push their way forward. They actually have two power clams now with the true amount of patience. They have now broken through it. The game broken wide open here. Topic 23 points remaining. Two members already dropped. They cleared out everybody else. Voyage did at least, but at the cost of a massive lead that is given to Altruist.
I mean, yeah, and you see how quickly that Voyage is going to try to push up here. They have that double mini or double splatling, which is very interesting, I will say. But unfortunately, it's not going to do a whole lot with the combination of the squeezer plus the S-Splash just forcing them back. You see Rem managing to escape with their life. Lunis trying to play some defense here, trying to cover this ramp. Is not going to do a whole lot of there. You see a Bleedbug playing out as well. Winter is getting a nice pick on the mini, so no hammer you have to worry about for now. And right now, we're going to see if Altruist can't build up a second clan because they have the space. It's just they don't have a power clan. They do now, but the rest of Voyage is there. They have rain, they have strikes, kind of flood out this area. So you gotta think, was that a bit too late on the side of Altruist here? But unfortunately, I am being proved wrong as they had two members down immediately.
Yeah, maybe proven down almost instantly there. So you can see just basically moving a little too far up ahead here. It's going to be Winter. He's basically using that Inkjet, but immediately gets popped. I believe that was Rem that got the snipe onto them and follows it up with a second. So Voyage able to stop what could have been a very impending doom there in terms of another push. Not allowed to materialize, but Voyage then trying to take advantage of this push, advantage of the defense, and they're just getting snuffed out immediately. It's going to have to be the escape here from Benui, as three members all have gone down. It's just now the holding on to the trip strikes for what they can. But, I mean, Topic, the issue right now for Voyage is they gotta get a push to materialize, because right now they just have the free claim at back of base, and it's very much not going to be enough right now. Ultra Sam does take a shack there, but again, there's really no other offense that is left right now other than a couple members dropping. Benui might have opened the doors for them. There may be a third pick there, but they are going to have to retreat their Kakarot immediately returning back. Now maybe something could materialize here for Voyage. Maybe the answer is now.
I mean, yeah, it is now. You see, unfortunately, two are going to go down. Rem's going to be forced to back away as three members are going to go down for Voyage, and Rem not able to get out with their life. And you got to think these one-off pushes have been kind of a hindrance to Voyage's potential pushes because they've been getting these one-offs. It feels like they've been kind of stuffed for the most part by Altruist's like all offensive comp. They have that Zuka for the AoE. They have the S-Blast for AoE as well. That's been kind of hindering them for a moment. But the hammer coming out, gonna get one before getting shut down themselves. And if you are Voyage, you have to go now. Ram will, along with a Knot, are just gonna run forward. Ram, a solo mission, not quite able to get it. The S-Blast will shut the door, and Altruist will take game number one after a very not the best start, I will say, going down immediately.
I think it would be best categorized as a slow start, really, for both teams, and then they finally picked everything up with the double power clam push right down the middle there. And Rem, I definitely see what you're trying to do, especially with the low mission there as well. But not only was a lot of things left with very little time left, they also just need a lot more offensive firepower there. And Rem, I gotta give him credit, at least nearly escaping with the E leader, trying to put down pain on the turf, but ain't gonna be enough of it. Ain't gonna be enough at the end. And Voyage down 1-0. So again, two more maps to go. What next one could be the decider here for Altruist. And for this for this group here, who are now having to play a Mahi zone's gonna be coming up here. Topic, I think there is some semblance of good things here. It's a fundamentally different mode, going from Clan Blitz, so basically a mode where your focus is teamwork and getting an objective. A few good individual plays in Mahi zones could make the difference, especially when the map changes past 61 points.
Yeah, especially. And I think when I first saw this, or when I first, we got into the game, I think the biggest hindrance to Altruist really is going to be Rem with that E-leader, if they decide to keep it, of course, because that kind of shuts down your Inkjets, right? We saw a couple of really, really clutch snipes from Rem to kind of slow down Altruist, and the rest of Voyage did manage to what's the word? They did manage to follow up on that really well, but I gotta I'm a little bit concerned because even though they did have some good openings, it's just the pressure from the S blast from the jet when Rem's attention was diverted from the Zuka or from the squeezer with Zuka. I feel like if you are Voyage, you're gonna have a really tough time kind of breaking through that. Even if they had that hammer get a couple of really clutch kills, it felt like it was the hammer going in from Looney, and then everyone else was kind of a bit far behind.
And I think to your point, you just got to see if if the follow-up is going to be there by the end. As you guys are going to see the Inkjet, are they going to keep? They're not going to keep the Iliad, but they are going to keep but they are going to flex over to a different charger here. That is going to just be. I don't think it's the scope variant. It's just your Zeko Firefin charger. Either way, it's the same kit. It is the one with the Ink Ball and the Trip Strikes available. I actually don't mind this pick at all. Iliad would have been just as fine too. So wondering to see how they can get a much better start out of the gate here. Also, Wiper being used, but this start is not going well. That's a delayed wipe to start things off, and they're continuing where they left off last time here. That is Altruist in this case. Topic as Altruist already gained the first zones cap, and they are playing with aggression.
Yeah, look how far up I believe Judd is, just painting up, sharking a little bit, making sure that the members of Voyage cannot drop hammer. I believe will be popped, not quite able to get a pick there, but you see, Reefsider is active, so if they get close to zone, it will auto cap, which would be very, very big for Voyage. Unfortunately, they're going to be forced back. Bunny forced to pop Reefsider to stay alive, get canceled almost immediately, and another wipeout on the side of Voyage, and at this point, Altruist, they're just holding. You see how far up you see the S-Blast take advantage of these ledges and just making sure that Voyage can't do a whole lot, but the Zuka combined with the Booyah Bomb will corner the members of Voyage, and that will basically spell the game because Voyage has to go right now, but unfortunately they're a bit too far away from the zone, and that wipeout, masterful, I will say. Using the Booyah Bomb to corner the members of Voyage, and then the Zuka from downtown like Curry,
Yup.
just getting a nice double kill there to kind of end the game.
I'm trying to. I think you're gonna have to keep me honest here. Is this there was no like counter neutral at all from Voyage? I think that was a straight 100-0 push, if I'm
Yes,
not
it was.
mistaken. And if it wasn't, man, that still felt what it was 100-0. That was just an absolute clinic from Ultras. As you noted, the big moments here. Great usage of the Booyah Bomb as well, and that was one delayed wipeout into two additional wipeouts. Oh my goodness, Altruist played that spectacularly, and Voyage losing this set. They are gonna have to play the salvage game, but so far in the first two games of the set, Voyage has not fared too well against Ultras right here. There is still definitely a lot of chances. There's still some signs of life, but they gotta get something to materialize, and maybe with a map mode, excuse me, that is a little bit more slower pace. Maybe this is their time to do it. It's Inkblood Art Academy Tower Control topic, and I know the goal. And as noted, I think the goal for Voyage is let's just get a dub here. Let's just see if at least we can finish on 1-1-2 and still try to feel good coming into the third set.
Yeah, and I think we mentioned it before the match started on Mahi. It was kind of snowbally after the water level drops. So I think that just not being there will help Voyage there. But I think again having a better start because they got wiped out instantly. I think it was what 20 seconds, I want to say, that they got wiped
Yep.
out. And then shout out to Ultras. They took full advantage of it and went. They just kept up the pressure. And every time Voyage tried to go off to the sides, guess what? A member was there to shut that down. So I think if you are Voyage here, your best bet is just play, I guess, not slow at the start, but play a bit careful and try to make Ultras make the first mistake. I think that's your biggest plan because if they go one down, then you can take full advantage of that, especially if you get their S blast down or if you get I believe their squeezer down first.
Yep.
That's a lot of momentum to help you kind of get past, especially that first checkpoint. That's gonna be a real hard one to get through, especially since Ultras will have that Booyah Bomb to work with.
And exactly your point. I think exactly to your point. Excuse me. Voyage does need to focus a lot on their priority targets that they need to eliminate. I think a lot of thorns on their sides there, especially the squeezer, has been a problem. Oh, this is a
Ooh.
screen squeezer that is making an appearance, a very rare cameo appearance. In general, that is that foil squeeze, the auto bomb screen making a grand appearance. Judd, by the way, switching over to the Frozen Bro, one with the 10 of missiles as well, but the other two weapons remain the same. Rem with the E leader. There is also a switch over to the Mint Decaf as well, and the sloshing machine making a grand return on top of it too. So for Voyage, 3 out of 4 weapons being swapped. How do you deal with it? So far, they're gonna need a little bit more time. Already here, Topic, just like the last game, already an immediate 3 down, and Shaq with the S-Blast
Okay.
gets one more big onto this, and then there are 2 other members that have fallen suit on top of it, and that's the first checkpoint. This could even be the second checkpoint cleared, especially with the way the respawns are happening.
I mean, look at this. Not even in the bats. Don't even think about it. That second checkpoint, gone. Luna down, or Looney down. There it is. Kakarot is still up here on badge. He just wants something you really need to hold. He's going to get past his first or the second and potentially get to this third checkpoint, which they're going to do. Like it's absolutely nothing. Booyah Bomb to flood out the members of Voyage is going to work out. Wintries is just sitting there and playing patty cake basically with the Chargers, trying to stay alive. Is going to make it out with their life. And so far, Altruist have been so aggressive, so smart with their plays, as we see even right there, Kakarot in the back lines getting a nice pick there. The push, however, is still going. Yes, without getting any additional points, but just keeping up so much pressure, so much paint on the side of Voyage is going to help here. The screen just to disorientate the members of Voyage is going to help a little bit more as well. And it looks like Looney not quite able to get the pick as well in the backline. So we see this at the top of your screen getting a pick, forcing themselves to jump out to help on bats, as Bunny, I think, is able to get the kill. And now Voyage just trying to respond as best they can, because for now Altruist has been in complete control of this game for the last 2 minutes.
This is kind of like the equivalent of almost a 20-0 run in basketball here, Topic, the way this game has gone. This is basically just pure dominance from Altruist all around. The 3 down start, and then get snowballed into yet another 3 down as Jack immediately got that S-Blast with a single pick, and then the rest of the team following suit. Voyage is just completely cornered right now. Maybe a chance to possibly breathe, but right now it's only Rem staying alive once again. Judd and Winters is still kind of lurking around right now. As you can see, they are going to get cornered there, excuse me. Judd is the one that gets the pick, and maybe a chance to breathe as a trade does happen. It's 3 down. Kakarot's just got to escape with their lives. What feels like the first time in this third map here, Topic, Voyage has a chance to breathe and get something to work with. But again, it is just 94 points cashed in. They have a tall mountain to climb, as they have to clear the 3 checkpoints just to get the lead. Maybe this is their time to do it here, Topic.
I mean, yeah, like you said, they have a long way to go. They got 2 members down, but you see Shaq there by the tower on the tree, just staying alive, getting help to get Bunny down as well. Looney will clean up the kill, but they're gonna be the last member remaining, just trying to do what they can to stay alive, popping the bubble to extend their life just a little bit longer, but not much is gonna come out of that. And like, we're back into a situation where nice snipe there. If you are Voyage, you have to be very, very aware and careful of this aggressive front from the members of Altruist. You have to worry about S-Blast. You have to worry about the Fro Pro and those missiles causing damage. You have to worry about, heck, even Wintris on the jet just getting a lot of damage on people. Able to get a kill as well. And I feel like we've been saying this time and time again. It's just Voyage going 3 down continuously is what's really hurting them.
I mean, the biggest problem they're having to deal with right now is just Shaq on this S-Blast. You can see Shaq, they're already on their own, just trying to pressure them out, and Voice just not able to punish Shaq whenever this happens, because we see time and time again just 3 members crowding around the tower, and Shaq just on the other side still poking with range, using that Booyah Bomb to great effect, and it's causing Voice to be backed out entirely here. We're about 47 seconds and still counting down, and there's the Shaq still alive. Gets a pick on the Okay, we see you there, Shaq. Or is there gonna get the second?
Okay.
Yes, there is. Maybe the third. Is the third gonna happen here on this board with the assistance? The answer is yes. That's a triple there from Shaq. It is an absolute clink being dished out here by Altruist, and as we do get to see 4 members just running around the tower, this is just gonna require several miracles here from Voyage. to return back on this one. 19 seconds left to go, Topic, and I think it's safe to say Altruist is still trying to keep the foot on the gas pedal.
I mean, yeah, if you can just keep the tower on Voyage's side, you're taking a lot of time and space away from them. The not Zuka,
Oh,
the
man.
Jet, able to get a really clutch double kill. Bunny trying to stay alive. They're gonna be the last one effectively to get that tower, but GG Booyah from Shaq will say no and will close the door on a very dominant 3-0 win from Altruist. And wow. What a second and third game from them. How good was that?
That was spectacular, honestly. 2 and 3 was just pure dominance from the start. And I know with the first map being Umami Ruins Clan, but the pacing is a little bit different. That I look at, you could say the pace of play feels very different there. Voyage gets the one and done, and it definitely looked like Ultras was kind of on the struggle bus, just trying to get additional pushes in, but they were able to close that one home. Completely different team from games 2 and 3. Then you get Shaq set up in ways where they can still poke from range and absolutely punish Voyage there, and Voyage just kept running into the amount of shots that Shaq was dishing out, and then all 3 of the other members, while Shaq is distracted him, also the other members cleans out the rest of Voyage, and Voyage just had no answer for a strong group that has their coordination on top, and that's Ultras at least getting the dub to start off Low again. Voyage down to 0-2 and still trying to look for their first set dub here in Low Ink.
Yeah, unfortunate for Voyage, but hey, listen, even though you are a little bit down, you can still kind of fight back, get to that 4-2 record, which is, I believe, good enough for beta
In
or
most cases.
gamma.